Men and women are not the same. I don't know why this argument keeps coming up. We're not the same. And listen, I'm not talking about superiority or anything like that. Today, we're just going to be talking about a man's value versus a woman's value. Why a woman should preserve and cherish her value. There's been this argument going on throughout time about a man and a woman's value, about body count and no body count. Yes, body count do matter. Whoever told you guys that body count does not matter, they lying. Body count matters. It's usually always women supporting women about body count. Men unanimously will vote that body count does matter to a woman. Unless, I don't know, you're maybe like a rapper or one of these artists who are just passing around these women to each other. I don't know what that's about. So many women in the world, yet these men are just passing each other's women around. I don't know, but I like my woman brand new, sprinkling new, and whatever, to each his own. Now, the reason why I say men and women are not equal is because of our values. What happens when we're born? Men are born with zero value to our name, unless you're a Zuckerberg or Musk, one of those coded names that he named his son. You are born with no value. What does that mean? You're usually gonna be born without any economic status. You're gonna be ugly. You're gonna have to build yourself up. This is what that means. You're born with no value. Build yourself up to a man. You're born with no charm. You're gonna have to develop that charm. You may grow up to be a handsome individual, but if you don't have any charm. Now, when it comes to women, women are different. Women are born with value. Women are naturally born with more empathy from the world. We can all agree with that, right? The way I think about it, women are born just cherished. Throughout history, you can see that men have been replaceable. Anytime we go to war, we die, we get replaced. Women have only two options: either replace us with another husband, or they will have to get a job, do their thing, raise their kids. Easier to get a husband. And I'm talking about back in the world wars and stuff like this. And this has translated to why men's values and women's values are different. Women have not been so replaceable throughout time. It's now that women have become replaceable. And how have women become replaceable? I'm going to get to that. No, a man's value does not come in their teens or in their early 20s. You guys are still finding yourselves, man. You guys are still finding yourselves at that age. Anybody who's watching me at that age right now, you guys are still finding yourselves, don't know what the fuck you're doing. You got hair still growing out your chest when you take Hennessy shots. You don't know what you're doing, but some of you guys are more mature than others, which is cool too. You guys are not on the same level as a 30-year-old man who has his stuff together. I always said it. I work in a public high school. I work with young men all the time, and I see it. These young men are not ready to compete in the real world yet. And what is the real world? When they come and compete against men like me and against men like the Andrew Tates, the Coolies of the world, and against other successful men who are charming, handsome, got their shit together, are fit, all the above. I tell these kids all the time, yeah, you might have a few girls here in high school and stuff like that now. But I tell them, once you and that girl graduate high schools, you are now in competition with grown men. These women already have their value at 18. For example, at age 18, right, you can open up a girl's Instagram account and have a whole bunch of men hitting her up. All different ages. When a man is 18, there is almost a 0% chance that a girl is sliding into that dude's DM. Let's just face it. You can be handsome. If you have not built your value up by that time, you are almost invisible. So some men at 18, how they start building their values, when they go to college, they start going to social clubs. So if you're a young man, when you're watching this, how you start to build your value, if you're in high school or you're in college, you can start by joining clubs. You can join whatever club it is. It's always going to be girls in these clubs. Maybe sports teams. Sports teams are a great way to build your value in any stage of life. From elementary school, from high school, junior high school, all the way through college and post. You join any sports as a young man, that's a great way to develop your value as a young man to young women. What you also must do as young men is also start thinking of ways to make money. Yes, a career is cool and I love that. But how are you going to make money? The popular thing now is $100,000. But if you live in New York City like me, $100,000 is not enough. Yes, I am privileged to have made my first $100,000 this year in 2023. But it wasn't easy. It took me 32, almost 33 years. My birthday's almost coming up, so, which I'm going to turn 33. And it almost took me 32 years to do that. Well, I will not count the baby years, so I'll say up to puberty. That's when I feel like as a man, you should start building your value. It's to puberty. Your parents should start helping you build your value, your confidence from a younger age through sports and through letting you be a social person. But once you become through puberty, it's literally all up to you. How are you going to develop this? How are you going to do this? As an 18-year-old man, you're never going to be invited to boat parties, to VIPs, unless it's like your boy, and even then they don't want to be associated with somebody who can't chip in and don't have money and can't provide the same social status as friends. At 18, a woman can be on Instagram and be invited to all these yacht parties, all these crazy events that a man will never be invited to. She doesn't have to put any money down. A man will always have to put money down for bottles to get into the place, the VIPs, etc. A man's value comes from his achievements throughout life. So let's say, for instance, prom, it went successful. He asks a girl out. Wow, he starts to develop that confidence. As a man, your achievements throughout your life makes your value go up or down. Women already know a high-valued man or a nigga that she doesn't want to fuck with off the bat. They have the scent for this. They have the scent to know if you're a masculine man, if you're a strong man, if you're a weak man. Every guy's value goes through trial and error. There's not one man in this world who goes through his life, doesn't get rejected, doesn't get turned away, doesn't get dubbed, doesn't get left on red. Every guy goes through these failures so that our values can go up. It's up to you to determine how you're going to get that back up. But listen up, my kings. Cannot consider yourself a high-valued man if you're broke. Doesn't coincide. I understand if you're broke and you're still chasing a bigger bag, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and tell you you're not a high-valued man yet. And that should motivate you. Like I said, I look at these Andrew Tate videos, and when he speaks like you're broke, and he uses all the examples of why you're broke, you're going out clubbing, partying when you're not rich. I use that as motivation because it's true. I believe if you broke, you're not a high-valued man, and you shouldn't be chasing women. A lot of men nowadays say that women aren't submissive enough and aren't feminine enough. And that's true. But I like to say is, what are you doing to make this woman submit to you? What are you doing to make her more feminine? Are you in your most masculine trait? If you're broke, you cannot be in your most masculine trait, because being masculine is being decisive, being a decision maker. You cannot be a decision maker. You cannot tell your girl, oh, I want you to do this, I want you to do this, and, set boundaries when you're not holding yourself responsible and accountable. But there's no way you can be asking this from your main girl to be feminine and to be submissive when you aren't paying a few bills and handling your own shit. Every man must handle his own shit financially, physically, and be a high-value man in order to have a girlfriend. I feel like if you're going to have a serious girlfriend, you have to be in that role of masculinity and in power, and that comes through your value. So, guys, let me break it down to you. This is how women just tell you that they want a high-valued man. When you hit them up, oh, what do you look for in a man? Oh, I want a guy that's 6 foot plus, $100,000, have his own business, make as much money as me, blah, and this, and the list goes on. All these prerequisites goes on. As a high-valued man, we are honest with ourselves and we are honest with them. In a high-valued man comes confidence, honesty, and like I said earlier, decisiveness. Honesty in us high-valued men may be at a detriment as well, because women don't like to be told the truth. As much as they say, tell me the truth, as much as it hurt me, fuck that. Women do not like to be told the truth. It hurts them, right? If we were to approach every woman that we like or that we want to have sex with and just say, yo, listen, baby, I don't want to take you out on a date. I just want to bring you over here, smash a little bit, and be on our way. You down with that? You cool with that? She'll be like, get the fuck, I'm out for you. You're never going to hear from this woman again. That's why we have to finesse it. And you're not going to know how to finesse without any value. And how do you come with that value? You start experimenting early. Look at yourself in the mirror. Are you a high-valued man? Most likely, you are not. Why? You're a fat piece of shit. You don't go to the gym. You always have excuses. Your money's not up. You're inadequate to find a better job. You have to find a way to get more money. If you consider yourself to be a high-valued man, these are all things that you look at, you sit down, and you process and you self improve. What am I doing wrong? High value man doesn't have to be to a girl. Even to your family, you can be considered a high value man. You taking care of your family. Yo, I have two sisters and my mom. My dream is to take care of all three of them. Yo, what do you guys want to do today? You guys want to take a trip? Here's on me. Yo, take mom. I'm a little busy right now, but take mom on that trip. I'll meet you guys on the next trip. It's on me. That's the best feeling. A man saying it's on me. Try that one time. It's on me, and go ahead with your actions. It's on me, and go through with your actions. It's an amazing feeling when things are on you. Young men, especially my short kings out there. Listen, my short kings. We cannot be out here demanding high valued women, demanding shit from women, if we are not ready to handle business on our end first. And like I said, what does a high value man come from? That comes from being in your shit financially, getting in the gym. Get your ass in the gym. Gotta get in the gym, fellas. And then being emotionally stable too. If you're not emotionally stable and you know that, if you have anger management, if you have some issues that you're still working out from home, maybe father issues, mother issues, work that out. You need to work that out first before you bring anybody into your life. Hurt people hurt people. So as long as you're hurt, you are going to continue hurting. But if you have these three aspects of your life going right, you can be a high valued man. It's so important for a high valued man to set standards for himself when in search of his next partner. Yo, I've seen so many fly cats, right? Be submissive to their girl. What? Submissive? I understand you guys come to agreement, but that's more you being a man. Please do not confuse submissiveness for being cordial with your lady. As a man, you must attend to your lady's emotional needs, to all her needs. But when it comes to being a submissive man to your woman, that is not a high valued man. You are not masculine. I believe that you must be at your highest masculinity when you are at your highest value. Why is that? Because a non-masculine man cannot ask for a woman to be submissive. How is a woman going to be submissive to a man who is not handling things, as I stated earlier? Now let's switch gears a little bit here, guys. I'm about to fuck you guys up a little bit. I don't believe in monogamy. Again, I don't condone cheating. If I stated earlier that men take all their lives, maybe up to their mid-30s, that's where the men start really to become high-valued men. It's the 30s. It starts in their 30s when they start to figure everything out. So if I say it takes you about 30 years, 30 fucking years, to build up your value. After 30 years, women start to flower you, show you love. Why are you going to devote all your love and energy to one woman? I just don't understand it. There are 3 billion women in this world. I understand most of them may be cultural reasons, whatever. But the ones who are single, they are free. Let's use doctors, for example, male doctors. It takes a really fucking long time to be a doctor. You're going to tell me that you spent your whole years in high school, because it doesn't start in college. Being a doctor starts in high school, elementary school. You're going to spend all those days studying, all those hours in the office, grinding. Those fucking torturous hours in college years, when we were out partying, you were in the books. Medical school, when we were out partying, you were in the books 2 times. All those hours, and then when you become a doctor, literally a woman's dream, you just gonna give it up for one woman? But let's face it, let's look at the statistics. Divorces happen because 80% of women are leaving men. And nowadays, they're using this as a strategy. Women are getting married because they know that in a few years, they're gonna give you a kid and they're gonna bounce and they're going to move on to the next one. I don't want anybody here thinking that I'm negative towards women or I'm condoning men to go and cheat on their wives. As I said it, don't believe in monogamy when a man has built his whole life to be a high valued man. One woman cannot satisfy one man. Y'all gonna hate me, but one woman cannot satisfy one man. Again, The reason I say this is because if a man has spent his entire life building his value, why all of a sudden when he gets his value, he just has to shut everything down and devote all his energy to this one woman? When now there are a plethora of women throwing themselves at this high value man, because let's face it, 80% of women are going for 20% of men. So what do you have here? Math ain't math, and you just have abundance of a whole bunch of women chasing the top men. So what are those top men gonna do? They're gonna fuck all those women too. So I do not ever believe that one woman can satisfy one man. Now, guys, for those of you who aren't high valued men, who may look at this and think that this is a podcast of me coming down at you, no, especially short men. No, we as a man, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and see what the fuck you are doing wrong. If you're a nigga that doesn't admit to his faults, his downs, you're not a dude ready to survive. You're not a dude ready to succeed. The first thing that you have to do is acknowledge yourself, acknowledge your faults, acknowledge what you are doing wrong, and fix that shit. If you're fat, you need to start going to the gym. If you're too skinny, you need to start going to the gym. Doesn't matter. If you're still in good shape, keep going to the gym. It comes in your discipline, like I said it earlier, and it's in high valued men. If you're not making enough money, especially as short men. A few years ago, I was making about $32,000. I had to figure out how to make more money, and I finally have made my first 100 grand this year. So it is possible, guys. You just have to turn that fucking switch on. Without you turning that switch on, without you looking in the mirror and turning that switch on, telling you, yo, I gotta get going, you are never going to be a high valued man. Again, us men start with zero value. Life is so much better when you're born with nothing and you build it from the ground up and you're able to look back at it like, fuck, I did that shit. So when you do get to that level, your boundaries, your standards should be much higher, because you're not going to tolerate nothing from people. You develop that skin, that characteristics of not tolerating bullshit from people, especially women who are more masculine than they are feminine. So again, gentlemen, get your shit together. If you are not a high valued man yet, which most of you are not, please get your shit together. Get in that gym, figure out how to make more money, and stabilize yourself emotionally. I appreciate all my kings coming up to this podcast again. This is Ralphie, the host of your Short Kings podcast. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Let's make this page grow. Let's get this algorithm going. Appreciate you guys for showing on. Oh, I got a new mic too. You know, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on my production values, but I'm a one-man army right now. So I appreciate you guys. Stay tuned.